Buzz Live. Hate less, read comics. It's Blake's Buzz Live.
Buzz, buzz, babies.
Hey, buzz, babies. Happy Wednesday. Hope everyone got some good comics today. And you know, I didn't know what to say because of what today was a hard day for a lot of people, right? And I didn't know what to say. But so what we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna have fun, and we're gonna talk about comics, and we're gonna talk about indie comics, and we're gonna support indie creators, right? And tomorrow we're gonna wake up and have to deal with a lot of things, right? Anyway, the news has been on in the background all day. I apologize. It's been weird. It's been a crazy day. But yeah, fuck guns, and we need to fix this fucking problem. I don't know how to fix it. We're not going to fix it on Blake's Buzz Live, obviously, but anyways. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and I hope for the next hour or so we can come together, talk about comics, and enjoy the lovely weirdness that is indie comics. But first, let's read an ad. All right. Hey, everyone. Quick pause before we dive into today's buzzing episode. I've got some incredible news about our sponsor and friend, Michael Gecko Adams, and his little blue adventurer, Zor. They've both been nominated for the 2025 Ringo Awards. Zor for Best Kids Comic and Michael for Best Colorist, which is rad. None of us knew that was going to happen. This is a massive honor, so we're calling on all of you pros. If you've written a zine on a napkin and delivered it to a customer somehow, you're a comic book pro in this instance, and you can register for the Ringos. But for real, it's open to comic book professionals. I on the production side and the creative side, editorial, all that. I highly encourage you to support this fun thing in the community and consider Zor and Michael. If you believe in the magic and heart of Zor as much as we do, please head over to the Ringo Awards final ballot, cast your vote, and let's make some noise. Go vote for Zor. And if the pages light up your eyeballs a little, maybe think of Michael for the best colorist too, right? Also, I always forget this, and I didn't forget it today. Every show, any campaign we talk about, the links are in the show notes. So, if you don't ever have to go scrambling, if you're watching, you click that YouTube description, you hit the Facebook description or whatever. And these links will be right there, and you can click and go to the Kickstarter page and explore their wonders and buy their wares. It's crazy what technology can do. All right, let's bring some people out before I say more weird shit. All right. Tonight, I have the co-writers behind the hit. I wrote this really awesome joke. All right. I have the co-writers behind the hottest and top selling head in a duffel bag book on Kickstarter. Let's bring out Leslie Julian and AJ Mason, and let's talk Headcases.
Hell yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's such a good introduction.
No one's topping us in that category.
I love how everyone's always like, Blake, I love your intros, and I mess them up 3 times. I laugh in the middle of them. They're never good. I would be fired on radio. They'd be like, Blake, you got to go back to podcasting. But no, hype was real. I asked these 2 wondrous souls to send me the new issue today so I could read it actually before the show, and I was telling them, like, it hits. It's very intense. And then you just back smack us in the face with the feels at the end while we have to wait for that 3rd issue. Oh man, it was just heavy. Oh man, Paolo's art too. My goodness. Yeah. It's a very beautiful book. We will get more into this. We got one more person in the green room to bring out. Let's try to see how many times this takes me. We'll edit and post. Oh, wait. I've also tonight got the writer of one of my favorite Fang Time romps through Slaughterville. That wasn't as good. That wasn't as good as the top selling head in a duffel bag on. I'm sorry, Eric. Can we do something on the fly? Can we? I'm not a fang banger, but I'd fuck Eric Palicki's comic. Let's bring him out and talk about why Atlantis wasn't built for tourists and why I'm not monetized because I said the F word too early. What's up, baby?
You'd be the second,
scripted, folks. That was.
I just want you to know you wouldn't be the first person to fuck one of my comics.
Yes. I don't believe in originality. I believe in stealing ideas. So I like that. All of you, but AJ hasn't been on the show before. This is AJ's first time, but he knows how ridiculous it is. So I feel like we're in a nice, comfy, warm sack. It's like a sleeping bag. And we're going to talk about terrifying comics, terrifying in different ways, right? Because Headcases is not like traditional horror, but it's not traditional action either, right? You're doing something funky, something delicious, and I'm really digging it. And Eric the same. You couldn't just tell us like a vampire story. You had to dig deep into like the eldritch horrors and bring them out now in a smaller, more compact size with even more horror. Exciting times on Kickstarter. To start off, I love asking group questions when there's more than one person, because then you all just look at me like, who goes first? How's everybody doing?
Good.
Hell yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah, really good.
Friday. Happy right now.
It's been a crazy day. It's been there's been a lot. Good, bad, and otherwise. Yeah. I'm okay. Yeah. How are you, Blake?
Dude, I'm good.
Asked, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'm good. I got this really dope Demon Slayer shirt for $8, and nice. I needed to do laundry, so that really worked out great. And I know a lot of you keep hoping one day I'll do an episode shirtless, but it's not happening. Geek Stacks, what's up, Michael? How you doing, baby? I got John Westhoff in the house making emojis and smileys and metal stuff. What good. I love it when people tune into my show. It's great. Also, the guests love it too, because sometimes you all check out their Kickstarters and buy their books and stuff. And let me tell you, I don't know if you haven't got the gist of it yet through my excellent intros and yammering so far. I'm a big fan of both of these books, and I do want to, because we've talked about this for just a second in the green room. So before we get to Kickstarter, I want to ask AJ and Leslie, because as I confirmed, because I am fucking on it, you guys were on a different platform for Headcases 1.
Yep.
And it was exciting time. Like I remember like crowdfunder, and there were exciting people like doing the promos and stuff for it and doing the PR for it. How was like, what was that like? And yeah, for real, what was that like? Because you did a campaign. Campaigns are scary enough, and you guys did a whole new platform. Like what was what thought process went into that? I was always kind of curious.
It was a little scary, but interesting at the same time. They basically reached up when they were kind of first launching, and it was kind of around the time when Kickstarter dealing with some stuff in terms of like, are they going to be using AI and the blockchain and all that stuff? And like, maybe we need to pivot away. And somehow, luckily, that has been pushed into a closet for a later time. Yeah, luckily, the blockchain stuff has subsided. So we're kind of comfortable coming back to Kickstarter.
Cool. Oh my God. What's have you guys had those conversations yet where you're like, what the hell was going on a few years ago? And someone's like, COVID.
Hey, I almost forgot. You kind of remind us a little bit.
No, like
it feels so long ago.
It's great. Well, it's not. It's just like it became like this new normal, right? Mm-hmm. And we had to like totally. Hey, say what you will about our clusterfuck species. We know how to adapt. You want to argue evolution with me, whatever, but like. Do we adapt? We do sometimes anyway, but not. Yeah, all right. Anyway, we adapt, and we adapt live and go from topic to topic. Not greatly, but anyway.
Isn't it going to be great when like 2 or 3 years from now, we are like generative AI is in the rearview mirror the same way all this blockchain,
right? Yes,
NFT garbage is.
That's a very good.
I wish.
It feels like we're getting a little closer to that. There's definitely been a reversal on course for some things. So like the people talking about the bust, the big AI bust, and how many billions and trillions have been lost. So like keep that coming. Like let's reverse
yes,
it. Like hear about the whole blockchain movement that was
shorter and colder showers. Like that goes over well. Like everybody needs to use Chat GTP. So like only take 3-minute showers, medium heat. That's all you get. Like. It's gnarly. I love that outlook, Eric, because either it's going to be regulated and possibly useful and not stealing from people, and maybe people maybe artists make like legitimate money from it, right? Like if it wants to borrow something from them and they choose to do that. So either that happens, or yeah, we move past it on to the next big thing, which will probably be worse, but that's okay.
Yeah, but we don't want to talk about that, right?
No. We're gonna ignore that for now.
I love Cole's comment here because he's like, this could mean a lot, and that's great. I wish Archer was here because he could pop up and ask if we were still doing
That's dedication, packing, but in and out.
Yeah, just in and out. I mean, when you're packing, that's what you got to do. You got to keep it moving. I don't know. I guess he's coming to Kansas City. I forgot. He's seeing his dad. I think that's where he's coming. Yeah, cool. I have to hang out with Cole, and not that other. All right, bad joke. Anyway, I made a book club member mad. Anyway, I never make people mad, guys. I'm a joy. Anyway, if we were in a room, I could throw like a stick in between y'all and you could like fight for who goes first. But since it's 2-on-1, I'm going to give Eric the opening opportunity. Eric, real quick, because I always forget to do this too. Pitch us Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists.
Sure. Atlantis wasn't built for tourists. If I'm in an elevator with you, God help you, first of all. But I'm going to pitch this book as if you threw Jack Reacher into a Lovecraftian horror story. It's about a drifter who wanders into a small town in the middle of the Pacific Northwest. He discovers that this Atlantis County, Oregon, is in thrall to these otherworldly horrors that are lurking in the forest. He decides to do something about it because that's the kind of person he is. But all is not as it seems, both with those monsters and with Lucas himself. So it kind of spins out from there. I always tell people it is, and this is true, is that it's at least a spiritual sequel to H.P. Lovecraft's The Shadow over Innsmouth, which is at once my favorite of his stories, but also one of the most problematic of his stories. And that's putting it lightly. I really kind of wanted to sort of address that terribleness about his fiction writ large and that story specifically. So that this is at once a sequel to and a commentary on that original piece, but also it's a lot of fun. It's, it's kind of monsters and corrupt cops and vampires stapled onto the plot of A Fistful of Dollars. I think I've pitched this enough different ways now that if you're interested, you're going to be interested. Beautiful art by Wendell Cavalcanti, who is my collaborator on both volumes of Blacksmith that I did with Ahoy. This was our first major collaboration together. I think a lot of people know that this book was kickstarted the first time back in 2019, and then picked up by our friends at Scout Comics and serialized across 4 issues. I recently got the rights to it back, so I wanted to put it back into print because it is one of my most popular books.
How's that feel to get your baby back?
It's great. And this, we're printing it in a compact digest size, the sort of manga or the DC's compact classic size, with 2 new stories in it.
That's what I'm excited about. I mean, I'm excited for I love the compact editions. But when I was reading the campaign page, I was like, yes.
Because not only that, so I put this together kind of on a whim, and then as soon as I was about to launch the campaign, Wendell reached out and he said, "Hey, I know we're working on other stuff, but this is one of my favorite things that we did together. What's going on with it?" And I said, "Well, I have the rights to it back." And he said, "Cool. When am I going to get the next script?" So not only are we doing this edition, but we're doing a sequel. So
Yay.
That's sick.
Awesome.
So what would you? Well, would it be a graphic novel? Would you do like
what we're going to do for the sequel is we're going to do 3 one-shot issues that will be crowdfunded individually as one-shots, and then after that we will then collect it in a digest size companion volume that'll match the one that we're kickstarting now. So whatever your pleasure is, if you want, the normal 6.63 by 10.25 floppies, we got you covered. If you want to wait and get a digest size collection to be a companion volume to what we're doing now, I got you covered there too.
Hell yeah. And I'm sure you've been I'm not like calling you old or nothing, but like you've been in the industry, for a while. You got some, people, and I'm sure there will be some nice variants on
absolutely
campaigns. Eric is so good at like finding art for his book. Like the covers and the interior, like your books are always so freaking gorgeous. Oh my God.
I appreciate that, Blake. Yeah, I mean, we were able to get, Natasha Alterici, Richard Pace, Casper Wingard doing covers on the first volume. I'm gonna, I'll go to my Rolodex and see who I can find for volume 2.
Awesome. I got some people. Look, he's back. Cole's back again. At first he was talking about how much heat he was packing and slinging it around. Now he's talking about hot dogs. I'm going to talk about hot dogs. My new favorite thing is hot dogs, because they say they kill you, and I just think it's such bullshit, right? And I buy all beef hot dogs, right? I'm not buying I'm not eating pig lips and assholes, okay? We buy like the nice all beef. Well, I guess nice. They're from Sam's Club, even though Costco's are better. We'll talk about that some other time. But anyway, it's a jalapeno dog, a jalapeno popper dog. I take a jalapeno, dice it up, saute them with some some salt. I usually do the blend. Kinder's the blend for everything. Anyway, saute some fucking jalapenos, and then spreadable cream cheese on the hot dog bun, and chopped piece of bacon, and a little bit of cheddar cheese, and then you put the hot dog on it, and then the jalapenos. And it's you put like 4 or 5 jalapenos on it, so you get like one slice of jalapeno in each bite. It's like perfect. That thing fucks, boys. All right,
I believe it.
It is prime hot dogging. Okay, and it's my jam. And there's like a farmer's market, like not like a hop, skip, and a jump. That's because that's the one good thing about Kansas City is everything's pretty close. But anyway, I got some farmer's market jalapenos. I have jalapenos growing outside. They're not ready yet. Remember when we talked about comics at one time?
When's the cookbook coming, Blake?
Right, yeah.
The stuff I see you make, dude.
That's what I should do. I should do like a graphic novel cookbook. Even though it's already been done, but
I would eat everything you make. I wish I was supposed to be Kansas City.
I would eat the book. I would buy it. I would eat it. If it was like a PR stunt or something, we could film it. I don't know. So that's the best Kickstarter cross promo I've ever heard. Dylan, who was just on the show not long ago, who has My Neighbor Necromancer live on Kickstarter right now. Another great, beautiful book, and spooky. Has some AI bigwig said something like, if every author we stole from filed a lawsuit, it would ruin the whole business. So now folks are highly encouraged. Oh, well, yeah, that's I agree. Fuck them. Fuck them all, man. Geekstat. That is a sweet sounding story. I agree. No, for real. I liked Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists. So like way back in my early press days, before I knew Charlie Stickney, really, I was emailing Scout asking to get some press copies sent over because I was going to interview Eric. And I was like, hey, can you send me copies? And Charlie Stickney was the one sending out press copies. So like Charlie Stickney's like emailing me like, oh, I'll get you those, Blake. Anyway, Scout sends me these books. And then I liked it so much. I went, because I found out Eric was still selling them the old Kickstarter editions on his web store. So I went and like bought like the old Kickstarter, like original edition. And he like signed it and sent me some stickers and shit. Anyway, it's good. I spent real money on this book. It's fucking good. I spend fake money on other stuff, but anyway, it's a sweet story. Dylan, shout out to Oregon. I hear it's a nice place. And what's up? The Ringo nominated sponsor of our show. Does that mean I become a Ringo nominated show? We can do that, I think. Anyway, I love you, Michael. All right. Back to vampires. Sorry, that was intense. We went down a road. Yeah, like I said, it was this. I've been a part of this comic, or this comic's been a part of me for a long time. I just really made it all about me, but it blew my mind. And Eric, when I your other stuff, your other books I've always been a big fan of your books, and this you have a good like the way you handle these kind of like quirky horror titles. And, you know, they're just you always come at them with a really unique perspective, just like Blacksmith. You know, it's like, and which you know is third is Kenny. Can you say anything yet? Is it happens?
I am doing a book for Ahoy. It is not Blacksmith. It's a brand new thing.
That's cool though.
It's gonna be awesome.
That's cool too.
I can't tell you what it is until New York Comic-Con. But nice. We'll talk more later.
Oh yeah, cool.
You know, and you know, because Wendell drew both Blacksmith and Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists, there are a few, you know, Easter egg cameos throughout Blacksmith that he worked in. If you go through, you know, Rainsford Black's trophy case in issue 2 of the first volume, there is the Deep Ones. There's a Deep One skull from Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists buried in the background there, and then later on you see Lucas from Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists walking down the street and kind of giving Strummer Mercado the side eye. It's pretty great, and he worked those in without my
crazy,
without my knowledge.
Yeah, mine either, because I'm a shit reader. Apparently, I missed it.
So I mean, you know, they're officially, unofficially, you know, there's a canon reason to believe that they're you know, in universe.
Nice.
And that's one of the things I really want to do is I really want to build out, like, I want to do for like action horror in that supernatural Buffy vein what Kyle Higgins is doing with the Massive Verse and Sentai, right? Like kind of just build out like a universe that I can control and play with. So there may be more stories coming that sort of fit into that that sort of shared universe.
Well, it's especially like since you mentioned Buffy, which is funny because I have been having like the biggest tinkering, y'all, like a big old tinkering to go back and rewatch it because I have so much free time, right? So let's watch hundreds and hundreds of hours of something. But to go back, because there's all these comics and stuff, and I hear like the comics are great too, and I kind of like it could be kind of cool to. Anyway, you mentioned Buffy, but it reminded me of No Angel, which is another one of actually probably one of my favorite comics, just because like I love like cult religious like creepy horror and like the bugs and shit. Anyway, like, and that was one of my, but you write these kind of like Buffy type characters, you know, these strong, whether it's male, female or other, but these strong-willed, intriguing characters, even in like the books that like aren't yours that you've written, like Tox and the ghost armor. I can't.
Oh, Ninja Kaidan, whatever. Yeah.
Like, you know, even like this, the stuff you work on like that, where you're co-writing or editing or you know, or working in a story that like you didn't create or what. You bring that kind of flair to it, man, and it works.
Well, I mean, like my my creative upbringing was all like super problematic white dudes. So, you know, you've got your Joss Whedons and your Neil Gaimans and your Warren Ellis's in there. And it's like, it's really tough to kind of like, those stories are so foundational for me. And they were all created by people of, you know, I'm being very diplomatic here and saying, you know, questionable character.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, backpedaling a little bit and you're talking about rewatching Buffy. The beauty of Buffy, and I think that this is something that comics writ large really need to learn, is that you don't have to watch all of Buffy. If you love Buffy, you can just drop in and you can watch Hush, or you can watch, you know, Smile Time, or Once More with Feeling, or The Body. You know, like, it is so well crafted in that you can just drop in and watch an episode and you get a complete story. You get a satisfying narrative in just that hour, even though it's part of this huge 7-season tapestry. Not that you shouldn't rewatch it, and not that I'm going to
started immediately after I get off this
this call, because now I have a hankering.
now we're, the tinkering is contagious like vampirism.
Yeah.
By the way,
Exactly.
we got JD Rosario says hopefully he runs into you at NYCC. That is, Eric, that's a good point. AJ, Leslie, what do you all think? Because you're both talented writers, whether you're working together or separate. So I trust your storytelling opinions a lot. What do you think of, because we kind of have lost this notion. It is very hard to pick up a single issue. Sometimes it's hard to pick up a graphic novel and know what's going on, right? Manga's very, like a lot of manga would be very kind of silly to pick up like a volume 12, right? It's so serialized. So what do you think about that notion of it, that we want these big, I don't know what kind of word I'm trying to say right now. I'm having a stroke, but like a giant story, right? That we can dive into, get lost in. And even though we bitch about it by issue after issue and crossover after crossover, or I'll wait for the omnibus. Like, I don't want to buy 50 issues. I want to buy a $200 book, right? It's but we have these silly conversations with ourselves. But I like what Eric said. What do you think about this notion? Is that progression in storytelling, or is that something that we, from a marketing standpoint, like industry standpoint, is that something we should think about bringing back?
I think it's honestly like there's room for everything. Like there is room, like you said, for these big giant worlds that like are so complex, and like you have these crossovers and things that you can just like read on for days. But then you have these like stories, like let's say for example Headcases, or I'm sure Eric also has some miniseries that he wrote, and when we're writing like Headcases as a miniseries, it's a one and done story, and we're not planning on doing anything after it. Like once it's done, it's done. So I think, again, like to your question, I think it just has, we have a place for everything. And I think there are strong stuff about having like being able to pick up an issue like issue 5 and not understanding anything, like not knowing anything before and still enjoying it. I think there is a lot of stuff to say about that, but I think there's also a lot of stuff to say about like what I said, the giant world, or you wouldn't be able to pick up an issue and understand what's going on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even looking at like Jason Aaron's new Ninja Turtles, right? Like it has a very disorienting beginning. They're all separate. They're all fucked up, right? They're all, and like Splinter's dead. What? Like what's happening? And it's ridiculous, and it's but it works. And then, he did a 12 issue arc, and he got like 12 chapters to tell this story, right? But yeah, like everything I've read so far would be even more disorienting to pick up random issue. He's telling like a big story. So yeah, and so I'm with you. I wouldn't want to sacrifice any of that tension in those elements. So there's got to be like a place between, total confusion maybe, and then like old like Claremont X-Men, where like we have to be reminded of everybody's powers like every time they, and it's like 2 pages of every issue, or like here's where we were last time here, So what do you think, Leslie?
It's interesting because I just feel like it's just something to do almost with the culture. So it kind of depends, because like, yeah, before like pre-streaming days, like you would just have to jump on a show. I'm like, all right, I'm on episode 57 of The Simpsons. Like, I mean, that's a a show that's kind of hops around more, but like say like a show like, okay, the Wonder Years, or you have like Buffy, it's like you're just gonna watch what's in front of you because you don't have a choice, versus now like, oh, you can go like right back to the beginning. So I feel like maybe, yeah, the books also mirror that in the sense that people are kind of more sticklers for like, oh, spoilers, or I have to start from the beginning. And obviously that's not everyone. Sometimes people take a risk, but I feel like the majority of people are maybe less willing to take a risk on like, hey, let me just grab number 4. Like say if you're all sold out of issues 1 through 7, you only have 4 through 7, like sorry, I'm gonna pass, because yeah, you don't have the first couple of issues, versus like, you know what, I'll give a shot and I'll come back around. So yeah, it depends on the people, but I feel like the culture has kind of shaped that. So it'll be kind of interesting if maybe we as creators kind of push back and kind of say, you know what, we're gonna kind of take it back that way, or just kind of do what we want, and people can figure it out as they are reading along.
I think the important part is to do what you want, Leslie. I think that's I definitely would never want to get in any of your ways. Eric, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you about
No,
to say?
you are fine. It is your show. I was just going to say Leslie is exactly right on point with it's the kind of the culture, right? We've kind of the publishing sphere or this publishing side has kind of trained the readership to a specific, writing for the trade kind of like, well, okay, issue 3 of whatever X-Men title is out this month, and I can't find issues 1 or 2. It doesn't matter because 2 months from now, there's going to be another number 1 anyway. So either this will all be a trade and I can read it, or I can just start over with the next number 1. We don't get that Chris Claremont. Like my first issue of X-Men was like 275, which was a big anniversary issue, but it was smack dab in the middle of the story where the X-Men were transported to the Shi'ar Empire, which is just like totally off kilter from what, like, that's Chris Claremont starting to like run on fumes at that point where he's putting them into weird space stories. Doesn't have anything to do with like the broader themes of what the X-Men stand for. You've got, Jim Lee drawing Rogue and Magneto having a weird sexual tension in the Savage Land. All kinds of crazy stuff happening at that period when I was reading. And I just had to jump in and like figure shit out. And I don't know that comics are being written for that kind of an audience right now. I don't know that that's good or bad, but I do know that if I'm writing a comic that's 5 issues long and no one is going to pick up issue 2 who didn't also get number 1, then I either need to make sure number 1 is super easily accessible forever, or I need to, fix my heart and write an issue 2 that's a good jumping on point, or an issue 3 or an issue 275. And that's, I think it's all cultural. It's all how the big 2 especially, and I think it starts with the big 2 and trickles all the way down to us doing the crowdfunding, in that, like, that's how we're training the readership right now. We're training the readership to be like, we start with number 1 and we read issue number 5, and then another issue number 1 comes out, or 12, or whatever the length of the mini series is. And it's, maybe I'm just being an old fuddy-duddy who misses those days where I could just grab an issue of, the Fantastic Four off the racks in the middle of a storyline and get caught up easily.
Well, no, I didn't even really think about like what Leslie said, like the culture and how it is just like how spoiled we are, and how like all this information and access to media at our fingertips at any given time and any day. Like you could be having like a real bad shit and be like, I'll just watch an episode in here, I mean, like but it's crazy. Like who would have ever thought you could do that though? Okay. Like I guess we could be on a plane and watch our tablet, but like, let's talk real. We're not all on planes. A lot of us are on the phone in the bathroom anyway. But we have access to everything. Streaming media is instantaneous, and unfortunately, like they can take it down, right? Rights can change and that shit. So it's not perfect. But yeah, we're spoiled, like having it all, right? So like the serialized, because even I think about that with comics, because my dad gets mad. My dad's like, well, I just don't understand why this show is weekly and the other ones aren't, and he's like, I want to watch everything, and it's like. And I'm like, man, I wonder if that's like how some comic book people think, like, I don't want to buy it month to month. And then we're also, but please buy it month to month. But yeah, when I remember the first X-Men comics I bought at a 7-Eleven were like random, like, like I was into X-Men. And so I would grab whatever I found, and I never knew what was going on, but they look cool, so
and issue 275 is out, and then, maybe you can't, there's a snowstorm, so you can't ride your bike to the 7-Eleven the next month. So the next issue you buy is 277, and you missed an issue, but you're still able to pay attention to what's going on and get the gist of what you missed.
No eBay.
But, to your point, though, when we talk about things trickling down, it's easy because both Marvel and DC have very robust digital presences and apps And for $100 a year, I have both the Marvel and the DC apps that give me everything. Marvel's 3 months
Love
behind,
them.
and DC's a month behind, which is
So dope.
fantastic.
So dope. It's amazing.
But us indie guys, we don't have that. Like, we don't have an easy way for someone who missed Blacksmith #1 in their store to catch up, because Ahoy is not the kind of company that can support an app for a subscription-based app for all their titles, or Image, or any of a number of titles, anything besides the big two. So it's kind of Marvel and DC are driving a culture, and I don't know that us indie guys have, we're kind of automatically behind the 8 ball, because we don't have a Warner Brothers or a Disney bankrolling us yet.
You're supposed to like think of those models, right, when you're thinking of your indie and it's crazy. I mean, I know some guys are doing monthly Kickstarter releases, but they have teams. It's not one person,
God
right? They have
them.
these.
I couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, it's still gnarly. Oh, Eric said, because you guys you're doing your 3rd issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can still get physical issues in the campaign.
Yep.
That's something that like I've seen. It's like a good problem, right? But like as your audience builds, like all of a sudden you're like, you have like a bunch of #1s, and then you'll have like 5 #2s, and it's just, you have to think about your own inventory, which I think it's expensive. Okay. So I know why people don't think about it, but I mean, I really do. Like, it's when you're doing these shows, like these podcasts and stuff, you don't really have to think about your inventory, right? You don't have to have physical objects, but I mean, like, to really play the game, like, you want to go to your local shops. You want to go to local, start at local cons. Hopefully you start traveling, going to bigger ones and stuff, but you got to bring books, and you got to bring books to sell. Then as your campaign, ideally you're go to these campaigns and people back physically, because that's what you want. That's where the money is. Mm-hmm. Well, kind of, if you did like an all digital campaign, that might be interesting, but I haven't seen those do gangbusters anyway. But you make money selling books, and printed books sell for more money. So, but you have to keep this inventory in line, right? And now we just talked about this on the Prana show, because of what we do at Prana, but like these publishing aggregators, like Massive Indies and stuff, or now like what we're doing at work with Prana Publishing, like we're like a facilitator, like a handholder. We help you get into the direct market and stuff, but even then, like that's one of the things that the pros have talked, because it's, then you really have to manage your inventory, because like you're doing the inventory with like the shops, and so it's crazy. Anyways, very long-winded. What's it been like? Are you guys having that problem? Like, are you finding like, or did you print enough? Did you print extra? Did you are you having to play games with the printer?
It can definitely be an issue, because obviously it gets cost prohibitive, especially at the indie level, to print a certain amounts. Like, we kind of do a little bit of overage, but for the most part, we usually don't have a ton left over from after we do a print. We'll have like maybe enough for a few shows, and it's like, hope we do another Kickstarter soon, because we're running out. And then kind of tangentially related also is like when you're talking about all this printing stuff, and kind of touched on a little bit with what Eric's doing with the variants and stuff. Like, we kind of, for this campaign, they're doing a lot more streamlined campaigns. Like, we don't have any like variants, so worrying about printing all the variants, because that's a whole nother cost you have to worry about. So yeah, it can definitely get really dicey once you start thinking about all the extra rewards and variants and that kind of thing. So we definitely run on the leaner side in terms of like printing overages, because it can get expensive, because you're kind of scaling your goal towards your printing costs. So we are not trying to make it too unreasonable in terms of our end goal there.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about, because your boy Blake here, I've been in a lot of Kickstarter meetings where I'm like, I got this idea, and then you like look up how much that idea costs, and you're like, oh damn, like what's it called? It's called like oh damn it, I can't remember. Arc foil or something. For trading cards to like inject the foil. I can't think of the name of it, but anyway, they can do like intricate foil designs, and you could do you could make crazy looking trading cards, right? But it's like en masse, like you're having there. Oh
Imagine.
man, like $1 a card. Like it's like it wasn't. It's not that, but it was like it was close. It was like $500 for
Yeah.
600.
I've got
I
a
don't know, it was a
buddy
lot
that
of money. It was a lot. It was
consistently
so like
does metal covers for his books. I'm like, I don't know how
Right?
you do it. Is that
right.
so pricey, man?
I guess are I don't do which one of you, I don't know, is AJ there? I don't know what happened, but does one of you I can wait till he comes back, or you can pitch head cases while we scroll through
Sure, yeah,
or
I
we can
can.
just, I don't know if you guys know,
Yeah.
but I can bullshit. I can-
Massive
there
areas.
all right, well, one of you tell us about the wild and crazy world of head cases and why kids should mind their own damn business. Like, don't
I
steal
think
bags
AJ
on the
might be
subway.
frozen, but pretty much
He looks good. He looks good. That's fine.
I mean, he does look good. But yeah, we pretty much pitch Head Cases as kind of like Ferris Bueller's Day Off meets Pulp Fiction. It's basically two kids in New York. They just decide on a whim to steal a bag, and unfortunately for them, there's a severed head inside. So a hitman's chasing them to try to get it back. And a Head Cases series just follows the consequences of their unfortunate actions.
Yeah, it's a very simple premise with a lot going. Like I said, the backstory, like Hila and Ramon. I love these two characters. They're so
Heats
like
up fast.
they're oh sorry. Oh wait, he's back.
He's
Hold
back.
on. He teleported.
There we
Hey
go.
everyone, sorry, I had a problem with my phone. Sorry about that.
There you
I
go,
have
just pitching
problems
Head Cases.
too. It's fine. You're good. No, we so I'm interested in this, Leslie, because in let me just take a dab while I'm in the middle of interviewing a guest. It's my show.
Sure. Do as you will.
I'm sorry. It's been a day. You mentioned the streamlined, like a streamlined campaign, not a lot of extra filler. In the book of Jusco right now, we had a like, it's also like very, like we've actually gotten like messages from, they're like, people were like, why don't you do this? Like, why don't you do this and add this and add this? And then that's kind of when I was like, hey, why don't we do this? And everybody was like, look at how much they cost. But anyway, it is something to think about. And, I know like Eric Palicki or not Eric Palicki, Charlie Stickney, Eric may tell you this too. I don't know. But Charlie Stickney will tell you that there are like benefits to having like a wide assortment of variants, right? Like you can definitely go overboard. And I also don't think that like you need like 5 different variants that have like 5 levels of like nudity, right? Like different
Maybe
lesser
not.
and lesser clothes on each. I mean, if you want them, you want them, but it's, it gets crazy. Like I've seen campaigns have like 83 SKUs or something crazy, right? Like because of all that. So, and you do, even with like with Savage Wizard, you guys, I mean, you had a couple variants, but you guys didn't go super crazy on that.
Yeah, for that I
thought
trisected to
process?
the 3.
Okay.
It kind of depends on each campaign. So yeah, for this one, kind of had some stuff going on, so we just kind of decided to skip that. But like for Savage Sisters, I'm like, okay, 1 variant, maybe 2 max. Like I don't know, I feel like overloading. I mean, that's just me personally. I mean, if you like variants, that's all for you. But for me, like 1, I just feel like overloading people with them is like a bit much, and 2, just for my personal taste, I also just like, usually 1 is usually what I'm gravitating towards. I'm not like a collector in any sense. So maybe I'm disappointing collectors, but for me, I'm like keeping it limited is usually the route to go if you're not having it all. I'm not sure how you feel about that, Eric.
I'm the same way. Like I had my last Kickstarter was for a book called Dreamcatchers, and I did 1 variant, and it was mostly because I had an extra piece of art that fit, and I was like, well, I can just I can use this. And, and it was a nice like Richard Pace cover that was kind of tangentially related to the story. So it was, I'll do it this way. But otherwise, yeah, I'm not a fan of variants, but it is we're trying to squeeze money from every place that we possibly can with these, and
True.
the variants do entice collectors, especially particular artists.
Right.
there are certain artists named Liana Kangas and Skylar
Mhm.
Patridge that
Yeah.
we are like printing money. So
Skylar was all over Kickstarter for a while. Still does. I think their schedule is so crazy. I mean, just after. But I remember like that was usually like a sign, like oh shit, like like if you have a Skylar variant, Liana the same. Eric's, if anybody's unfamiliar, like Eric's other series, Blacksmith at Ahoy, like Liana did these gnarly, crazy like covers for those. I've done Leslie, you had Maria Wolf do
I got
do a variant.
very lucky with that. Yeah, first I was listed number one, just fell into our laps like, okay, crap,
we have to make this happen. But I do like the streamlined camping. I mean, you have to give people some options, right? But you don't have to go crazy. You don't, like you said, you don't have to have 5 cover options. You don't have to have 10. I mean, like if you want to, you also got to kind of test. You got to kind of test your audience too, right? And kind of get some feedback. Yeah, like if they're asking for it. Are you guys getting like Kickstarter DMs, or are they like weird? I don't know.
No,
You're like, no one's sending us feet pics on Kickstarter, Blake.
No, only bot DMs. No one's asking us, say, hey, like, where's the 7 variants for Headcases?
But we actually for the campaign for the first issue, we actually had one variant for Headcases 1. And yeah, we like
for that one.
Yeah, it was an amazing variant cover, but yeah, we just looked at the backer report and we saw that people were just mainly gravitating towards the main cover anyway. So we just decided to go with the main covers.
I mean, yeah, save money. You can do other stuff with the money saved. I still remember this was a great page.
Yeah,
what a good reveal, because it's you're thinking like it's because something's in the bag, but it's right. I'm thinking like money, drugs, gun, like not who just has a severed head
in the bag. Yeah,
you guys should it would be so stupid, but like you should see if like put like a high dollar like leather duffel bag on the next campaign. Awesome. just like 1 of 5. Like
I mean, that's not a bad idea. Some people like that kind of stuff.
My boss
ties in.
My boss Adam Freeman is all about like the big crazy rewards, and we were like going through like looking at like some campaigns, and like the curse words campaign like a long time ago for the omnibus, like they were gonna you could buy like a real shitty van and they would paint the van and like drive the van to you, and you'd like go get dinner, and it was like $10,000. God
damn, that sounds amazing. Honestly.
But like now, like I was in a meeting the other day, and some people were talking about doing that, like a tier that's like $5,000. It comes with plane ticket, like you arrange flights and stuff, and like meet the people and have like a dinner or like a weird little comic event. And one of the creators was like, I don't want to fuck. What if they're weird? What if they're scary? What if they're, like, who are we meeting? What? And if you can't like say no, they can't give you like $5,000. And then you're like, oh, we didn't feel comfortable with that email, so we're not going to do this. Like, I don't know. I've seen people send emails to Kickstarter camp for like not safe for work campaigns. I've seen them send emails mad because like the feet or like the toes got cut off at the, like they didn't make it past the bleed, and like
oh god,
like people being like, I bought this cover for the feet. I'm really mad. And we were like, what do you do? This is weird. This is a problem. So I'll consider that if you ever do. I don't know if this is the book for not safe for work covers.
No, that's not an issue.
Put the whole foot on it. You remember that too, Eric, just in case. If Liana ever draws feet for you, mind the bleeds. All right,
people are coming out with their pitchforks.
These are all good ideas for the second Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists, the sequel.
These are all great ideas. That's when you're on Blake's Buzz. when the great ideas speech comes up,
popping up. Dylan asks if people are going to be in Baltimore. I'm not going to be in Baltimore this year, unfortunately. One of these days, I'd love to go to Baltimore, but I'm not going to be in Baltimore.
I think all my coworkers are going to be there.
Nice.
I think Prana may have a booth. I'm not sure. We're going to find out. But I think they're all going to go out there. Thanks, Mark. That's true. And what I want to eat jalapeno popper hot dogs. Hungry. I haven't eaten today. Let's fucking go, baby. Appreciate you. But yeah, as you guys can see, this book is gorgeous. And like I said, the action scenes are like really intense. Like, dude, when you guys kill people, you have how are these scripted in your scripts? Like, how tight are your scripts? Like when the cop dies in the panel. This is a couple issues ago. Someone dies, and but it goes red, and it like every panel freezes, right? It's because it's a static image, but you like feel his body go like and stop in a panel, and it's fucking gnarly. And like, did you like instruct your artists to do that, like, or were you like, this dude dies?
It was all Paulo and Warnia. Like,
wow.
We were just like, he gets shot in the head, and then Paulo, just that's all Paulo. He's incredible.
That was such a cool panel. Like I said, you always think of like good art makes it look like it's moving, and that's the magic of comics, right? Because it's this static thing that flows between the gutters. But you all did the opposite of that. You took that motion and like freight train stopped it.
Yeah.
Like just it was magnificent. You all need to check out this book. It's great. But anyway, I love that. That was really cool. And I really like your book. You said 5, you hoping to do 5, right?
Yes.
5 issues for this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So halfway there, we're trying to get halfway there.
What's your process like together? Like, how are you, do you have like a Google Doc? How do you, and Eric, you may be able to try, because like you and Evan used to write. I don't know if I haven't heard. I don't know if you're still working on that, but like whatever. That was a weird way to drag that on. What the stop? Like, stop it, stop it, stop it. All right, can we rewind? All right. But you've experienced that, like helping, like not ghostwriting, but writing with people for people, and it's not always like. I always kind of wonder how that works, right? Because you want some competing ideas. You want to build and riff off each other to make the scene better. But you also want to like match the, like how do you work together well? Or don't you? Is it a clusterfuck? And that's why you're like, everything's terrible, but the book is
AJ
great.
doesn't think it's cluster.
In terms of the actual process, what Leslie and I ended up doing is that like we switch who writes and who edits the script each issue. So for example, Leslie wrote the first one, I wrote the second one, he wrote the third one, and like if I didn't write it, I'm gonna be serving as the editor. But in terms of like how we actually make it work, honestly, it's just I've said it in another podcast. It's just to let your ego go. Honestly, like it's so many times when you get into discussions and they can become really passionate about like a story beat that you think works but the other thing doesn't work, or a page that you think there's a problem with it but the partner doesn't think there's something wrong with it. And it's so important to remember that you're both there to just be there to make the best comic possible. And understand that again, like you need to let that ego go, even though maybe you came up with the dialogue idea that you were super proud of, but for the other guy it doesn't work. And again, you're in it together, so you might need to drop it if it really doesn't work.
Which one of you has had to drop dialogue?
I do all the time.
It goes back and forth, honestly. I mean, it just depends on the scene and like the contest. It seriously goes back and forth so much you can lose count. Like that's like I said, how me and AJ do it. Just like one person will write it, the other person will edit, and we'll get together and we'll just start yelling at each other until it all fits. I mean, not yelling, I'm joking, but like, we'll just keep talking until like, okay, like there's nothing else we can nitpick at, and like, yeah, this is good.
Do you? I've wondered this. because you know, sometimes like if I'm on like a bunch of video calls and then I'm just like, can we just fucking email? But then sometimes sometimes you're on video calls and like then the meeting's not, you know, the ideas are popping off each other. When you are, do you guys get on calls and like talk or like video chats or do you like text and like how do you communicate with your co-creators typically?
We alternate. Sometimes we do calls, but most of the time I think we either like just text each other about stuff or we just go through the Google document and like leaving notes for each other. And then once like Leslie gets off work or I get less busy, then we can just, you know, talk about it there usually.
Do you guys ever like if you're ever busy, like, okay, I'm just like hypothetically,
yeah,
you like write a big moment and Eric, this goes to you too, but like you write a thing, right? And you send it. Because one of my the thing I hate more than a lot of stuff is sending shit for approval because no one looks at it. And what it's just everything takes a while, and I know people get busy, you know, but you work really hard on something and you send it in, and you're like, my instant thought is no one said anything because it's dog shit, right? They're just like, that's right where I go instantaneously is you fucked it up. No one wants to tell you, so they're just gonna ignore you all day. But you know, but especially with comics, and there's deadlines and stuff, right? Even if you're doing it on your own on Kickstarter, you write this thing. There's time differences, there's life differences. How long do you wait for like a response? When do you get annoying with your co-creators, or have you had to yet? Like and I'm not talking about like chasing invoices or something, right? Like you owe me money, but just like, did you see the changes? Did you see, did you see I cut the dialogue or did you see the new art? Did you see, you know, how long do you wait?
Usually we're not too bad, especially when it's script related stuff. When it's art, I can kind of be annoying. Like, AJ, look, like Apollo just turn some stuff in. So like, I can kind of be aggressive about that. Like, okay, like 2 hours passed, like, you gotta tell me what
that's what I want to hear.
Yeah. But in general, I feel like I try to be chill, but yeah, when it comes to art, I'm like, dude, like, say something. Like, I need your opinion, like, right now.
What are your stipulations on when to be annoying? Because you work with some artists that aren't local either, right? So you got to consider that sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's in a different time zone. Everyone's you know, like you said, like, you know, we all have families, we all have day jobs, we all have, you know, other things going on in our lives. And, you know, I've been lucky lately that I haven't had a lot of issues where things weren't moving quickly enough. Like Tony Gregory did one of the backup stories for the Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists. And, you know, he's a soup to nuts creator. He did line work and coloring. So, and he, you know, he said, I will have these to you by, you know, 10 days from now. And on the 10th day, I got an email with all the high res files. It was great. Nice. Sometimes
you keep a deadline in this industry, people will remember you. Like they really will. Like, even if you're, well, I mean, don't be hard to work with, be nice, but you know, like if you're not the easiest person to get along with, but they're like, he keeps a deadline, that says so much, you know. He stole $1,000 from my mom, but he keeps it down. He really does.
You know, everybody who's working for, you know, a paycheck is very on top of it. The problems that I occasionally run into are editors, people above me who I know they're busy and I know I'm not the only book they're editing. I'll send them a script and then it'll be crickets. And then a week later, that same editor will tap me on the shoulder and say, hey, did you ever send that script? And I was like, yeah, here's the receipts. I sent it to you a week ago and you went radio silent on me. So
that's a kick. That's a
I know that people are busy. So that's where I'm currently having my headaches.
And what editor is that? Or no,
I'm not spilling the tea. I'm not saying anything about companies or
no, we don't.
Yeah,
we don't do that here. But yeah, speaking of editors though, like, Nicole Dondra was on like a while back with the oh my god, with like Marcus on, and I can't think of the name of their book. Anyway, I have a pull quote on it. I'm real glad I can't remember the title. That's great. It used to be, as Eric said, at our friend Scout. It used to be there. That came out there. But anyway, Nicole was taught. They were all, or no, this was might have been a Ruination. Anyway, because she edits some Kickstarter books, but everybody was talking, and there was like a new artist. And I asked Nicole, I was like, which one is the hardest to deal with? And she was like, why are you asking me these questions? And it was hilarious. And I was like, because it's funny. I was like, you don't have to answer, obviously. But yeah, it's I was like asking those questions, but then like obviously not expecting anything. And I wouldn't want to throw people. That would be weird. I don't want that. Like, Blake's buzz ruins careers. Like, no,
Watch out.
I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that show ever. We got to build them up. Speaking of build up, we got to get some people over to Kickstarter to check out Headcases and Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists. Was there any other reason? You know what? They're not that cheaper to print, these compact editions. I found out recently. You don't save like an ass ton of money.
I'm saving a little bit of money.
Okay.
Which is the other thing is there are 2 editions of Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists printed in the regular size already.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to give people who might be returning backers something that is not just more of the same. So, my options there were a hardcover, which in this economic climate, I would have had to charge $35-$40 for a hardcover versus this were
terrible, but yeah, I get you.
It's not, but this I can put $17 for 120 pages of content.
Get that, people.
Plus shipping. Because it's the art's all paid for, so all I'm doing is paying for printing and shipping. That's all I need to do with this Kickstarter. Which earlier today we did get funded, so it is now officially a pre-order page and not a please give me money page.
Oh, that's a good. They should make like because Kickstarter has those badges, which is great now because but people want like cooler badges that you have to make. It's fine. But that's just like that's my life now. I make graphics all the time. There was a time when I wanted to make comics. Then I wanted to edit comics. Then I was like, I really like production. Like I love that. I love putting it together and like dealing with the teams and like corralling the sheep, because you're all just sheep. No, you're all just fucking sheep making the comics. Anyway, but I very much got addicted. That's why when I got fired, that's why it hurt so bad, because I was like, I loved it. But yeah, there's something, I don't know, something about it. It's fun. Who did your because you have to shrink it and do things a little bit differently. Did the printer do that for you, or did Mark? Did the printer do that?
I just threw it into a really cold swimming pool.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
No, I actually do all of my own pre-press work for my Kickstarters. So I've been just resizing the pages with Adobe.
Oh yeah, that's sick, dude.
Indie comics, baby.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's again, I'm able to keep my my funding level down by doing that. And
yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
You have to hire some asshole. Like, no, actually, I don't even do that. I just build the pages and help. We found there's people that'll pay. They're not paying me yet, but and I wouldn't even really know what to charge. But there are people that will pay you just to set up the campaign, like plug in all the items and tiers and get like they'll do that. Not build the page, not do the they'll pay for that shit too. But I mean, yeah, some people just don't want to do that part. They'll do anyway. You can make money in comics by doing the work no one else wants to do. It's so like people don't realize it. And like Eric said, you can cut production costs by learning how to do a lot of that stuff. That's the problem I'm running into right now. My production costs have to go up. Like I'm at the point where I have to get I need to get in Photoshop. I have if I keep doing the shit that I'm doing, I can't Canva it much longer. I gotta, and then I have to learn how to use Photoshop. And I anyway, but that's what I'm looking at now, which is again, I was always a writer, and now I've what people, I'm a good, I'm not offended by it or nothing. I never thought I'd do it, but I'm a pretty damn good copywriter. And I think what a lot of people are realizing is you still need copywriters, because when you fucking have AI do it and no one checks it or looks at it or edits it or does anything or puts a little bit of humanity into it, no one wants to read it. And if no one reads your copy, people still may buy your product if they don't read your copy, but it's like a Kickstarter page. You want people to read the page. You're trying to get people to read it and lure them into the product, right? So you gotta that's a delicate dance. And AI can't do that. Yeah, you can ask it. You can say, "Hey, chat GTPT, lay out this Kickstarter page for me." We did that just to kind of see what it would do the other day, and it doesn't. It's so it does some things right, but it has the ability to look at Kickstarter campaigns, and you can even tell, look at this campaign, and help me organize, and it still won't do it right. And it does, and it adds its own different shit into it that's not on anybody's Kickstarter page. And it's where'd you get this idea from, you little twerp? Anyway, but we just were kind of messing with it. I write copy and make graphics now, and I just never thought that was going to be my comic book journey. I never thought I was going to run a design studio either. I guess it's weird. It's weird where this journey keeps taking me, guys. I don't want to leave the industry. I've made a lot of sacrifices to stay here, but it's I just didn't think this would be what I was doing, and then I always kind of thought, and not to talk shit, but I always thought that I would eventually not have Kickstarter clients anymore, but would have publisher clients, or would work for a publisher or something now. But even that changed because publishers are on Kickstarter, right? So that's different, right? But I never my new job position is community and crowdfunding specialist, it's just, I never realized how ingrained Kickstarter would I can't quit it. I can't, it's we're
publisher
tied. So it's just weird. And I don't make comics, and I don't work for Kickstarter, right? So it's how did I get here? Anyway, it's my story.
An interesting story, man. Really interesting.
we all have to pivot. I think Leslie and AJ and I all had, and probably still have visions of doing books at Image or Marvel or DC someday. And, I don't particularly, if I'm being completely honest, I don't love running Kickstarters. It's a huge pain in the ass, right? To build the page out and spam social media for 30 days and do all that, and do all that. But I'm building an audience. I am finding success. I am not finding the kind of success that your Charlie Stickneys and your Pat Shans are finding, or your, Cat and Phil. But, maybe it's in the cards if I stick with it.
Hey, Cat and Phil, it took Cat and Phil a minute too. They,
Charlie too. Charlie, was able to kind of pivot to Scout and then away from Scout and pull some of that audience that he built working for a traditional, direct market publisher. So it's possible. It's not necessarily, like you said, it's not the journey that I had in my head, but I'm still here, and I've known, I think, Leslie and I talked comics 5 or 6 years ago, and it's great to see him still, still making comics, and AJ, we met. I remember we met New York Comic Con. I can't believe he doesn't.
Nice pull, Eric.
All right. So, I see what you did there. Okay. All right.
Jack Kirby had it right. It's a heartbreaking industry. It's a heartbreaking medium. I think it's a heartbreaking industry. It is a heart mending medium.
I like that.
I like that a lot. the people that make it are the people who get their hearts broken, and they dust themselves off and they keep going. So I personally, and this is all of a long-winded way of saying, I'm glad you're still around, Blake.
Thanks,
I'm glad you're still in here doing comics, giving voice to, crowdfunders, people.
I am taking y'all's money too. I give a voice, and y'all pay me. None of these people do. But
I'm glad I mean, I think I think what Adam's doing is good, important work. So I'm glad you're part of that journey with him too.
It's
so
cool. It's exciting. It's very exciting, and everything's very fast. And I don't know if anybody noticed, like the last couple of weeks, like my shows don't get announced until like the day of, right? That's why because I'm editing and like doing stuff for like his pod. Like when we get done with this tonight, I have to edit their episode for tomorrow that we recorded today, and like it's just like
you have a day job. Busy
well,
man.
yeah, it's my day job that happens. It's not always during the day. It just sometimes it happens like, but no, I really do love it, and it's cool. And I hate how much I'm learning, like listening to the podcast while editing, like about like the retail side of the industry and like all this number crunching shit that I never really knew about, and how important like metadata is to the comic book industry is crazy. Like what they can do with like sales data it's you guys should check out Prana. It's like, I know I work there, but whatever. We're doing cool stuff. Prana Direct Marketing. Yeah. So, but yeah, Kickstarter. It's a crazy world. I don't think anybody really likes running campaigns, Eric. I mean, I think there's good moments, and sometimes there's like those exciting moments. But like, dude, I've been on like borderline on the phone with clients, like with like an hour left in the Kickstarter, like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And I'm like trying to calm them down. It's like, it'll be okay. And it's like in the back of my mind, I'm like, shit, will it? Like, like, yeah, I can. But yeah, so I mean, Kickstarter can be scary. And you're dealing with, you never know what the other person's gonna do. And I mean, by like screw people over or put another bad taste in backers' mouths, right? And y'all gotta deal with that. Even though you can run every campaign honest your whole life, and a bunch of people get screwed over, and that's all you hear too, right? Like hits the news and everybody talks about it. And so I mean, yeah, that stuff's always a problem. But yeah, it is a pretty magic community, because no matter whatever happens to me in this industry, like it was covering Kickstarter campaigns that got me attention, and that's why we started doing the show. Say we, it's fucking me. It's why I started doing the
Royal
show.
Blake we.
Yeah, but I mean, I owe everything to Kickstarter, and right now I'm managing the Book of Juiceco campaign, and that's about to like get me. When I got fired, I didn't have any income, and it took a minute to even like instant hustling. It took a minute to get money back. And so yeah, I have a hefty Amazon Affirm bill. They call me about 8 fucking times a day. And anyway, but like I'm about to take care of that, and I'm finally kind of coming back. I'm like fucking Stella, getting my groove back and shit. And it feels real good. Feels real good. And so, and I can't feel good and look at Kickstarter like it's not responsible for that. Because it really is, and it introduced me to so many people, and it introduced me to creators who hired me. And when those creators hired me and people found out about it and saw the work I did, that led to other work. I got fucking fired. People couldn't get rid of me. Like I got fired, and people instantly like called me, and they were like, I don't think that should have happened, and you should come work with us now. And which is funny because, well, it's not funny. There's a dark, shitty time. It was that. Don't get fired at 39. Okay. Like, or 40 probably, but just don't, it sucks. But when people give comic book advice, one of the top comic book advice is just make it, just make the comic, just make your comic. And a lot of people get aggravated about that, but it's also kind of true. If you can't draw, you can write that script. Right. And then once you get that script, you can show people and find out if it has some gumption in it, if it has something worth and then maybe you show an artist, maybe an artist ends up believing in you, and I've seen a lot of people get lucky that way, right? So like you do sometimes kind of have to just make it. But the other advice I always see given is don't quit, and so many people will get fucked by a publisher and I'll never do that again. Or embarrassed by a Kickstarter campaign not funding or something bad happened, and I'll never do that again. And they go do something else, right? And so yeah, this industry will like casually like it did it on accident, put you on your knees. It's mean sometimes, but it is also like rewarding in a lot of ways. But yeah, if you can get back up, comics would love to have you. Like it's hard, but like it's just like Eric said. Like Eric doesn't want to run a Kickstarter campaign, but why is he doing it? Because he wants to make this fucking comic book. Because he wants more people to read Atlantis Wasn't Built for tourists. Because they need to, like Leslie and AJ, they have a lot of shit going on, but they're fucking hustling getting these books funded, right? To get to bring this 5-part miniseries, and then hopefully later a nice trade or something, but they're hustling to do this. It's not an easy road. It takes a long time, and it's like I said, it's mean. It's as nice as it is, it's mean. And so I commend you all for fucking walking down those roads, dude, because it sucks. It sucks sometimes, like you worked really hard on that book. All these campaigns should have 10 grand on them, right? They're worth 10 grand. The books are worth 10 grand. You deliver your product, you print good books, you take care of your backers, and you write good stories. It's a bummer you guys don't get the audiences that you deserve, but you deserve it, so you come back and you try and find more and you keep telling your story. That's a hard battle, and it's not for everybody. But I've seen you guys, like Jarek said, like I've seen you guys do it for years successfully. So pat yourselves on the back, sirs. Fucking bunch of Kickstarter warriors, even though Eric's complaining about it.
I'm sorry.
Not just Eric. No, don't single him out.
It's not fun, Eric.
But here's the rub is that, if I was working for any of the big 10 publishers, 5-8 publishers, I'd still have to be out there pounding the pavement. It's the same work. It's just, it takes a different shape when you're doing it on Kickstarter versus, I'd still have to be sitting for interviews. I'd still have to be making podcast appearances. I'd still have to be posting every day on social media about my book. It's all the same work. It's just, it's one version versus the other. And it doesn't help that, that the news ecosystem surrounding comics doesn't give crowdfunded work the same weight that it does the traditional publishing. There is no reason why The Beat or Bleeding Cool or comicbook.com shouldn't be talking about what Charlie Stickney is doing, or what Cat and Phil are doing, or what Pat Shand is doing, or what Wells Thompson is doing. Like, how many crowdfunded books are Ringo Award nominated this year?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's real. And this may make you feel better, or may make you more aggravated. But even when you have a weighted name behind a Kickstarter campaign, still not super easy to get press. Still not super easy to get write-ups. That fucking is blowing my mind. Right. Like, I'm like, it's work stuff, so I can't say a lot, but it's like, damn, man, like I would have fucking killed a year or two ago for my show, or even now, if someone emailed me and was like, Blake, you want to talk to some giant fucking icon? Yeah. I don't have to set it up. You're doing it. Hell yeah. Like, I love that. Like, when I got to that level, when press started reaching out, it was cool. That it also got stressful, because then you have like all these press people reaching out, and then I did too many interviews, and then you fall behind, and but still, like for a moment, just like I didn't have to email these creators. I didn't have to sell myself, right? They had me on a list, and sometimes that list had awesome names on it, and I got offered that. But yeah, I send those emails, and I'm like, hey, what interviews? And it's just like, it's crickets. It's so yeah, it is extremely hard to get coverage for indie books released in the direct market if they're not written by the right people, as well as crowdfunding books. So yeah, like then we gotta do something. Something has to be done. Like, I don't know what to do, but
yeah, I think there's and like it just happens, but I think there's just like a bit of a stigma around like self-published, crowdfunded like work, because usually like you would look at the published stuff and say, okay, that's like when I know I made it big, or like this writer made it big. But sometimes, I mean, there are things that you can do while like when self-publishing and reaching a way bigger audience when you do it with like a different publisher, for example. So I think there is something to talk about here where it's like there is a little bit of stigma around it, and sometimes it comes to also media coverage. The Beat doesn't want to talk about, or like not singling them out, but like the Beat doesn't want to talk about this because they don't have like a name of a publisher attached, but the Kickstarter could have like 200, 300, 400 backers sometimes. And that's sometimes even a bigger number than what like number of readers are reading the current like comic from a small time publisher.
Do you guys notice when you're on Kickstarter multiple times, whether it's with the same book, like Headcases 1 through 3, or maybe just if you're on Kickstarter a lot and people recognize your name, but when you're reaching out for press, you know, and it's like, I've been on the show a few times, and then because that's something else I saw running into, you know, like we sending emails and they're like, oh, they were on last year for the campaign, so we'll pass this time. And it's like, what the shit? But you know, like there's another campaign, do it again. You know, but it's I mean that's another issue too, and just, you know, people get booked up, which I still don't really. I understand people get booked up. I book my show week to week because I'm an idiot, and like, but but that's just kind of how it happens, you know, and it kind of works for me because I get busy, and it just kind of sets itself. Or as you guys found out, I had to reschedule you because then now my new jobs are like, Lori and Laguna Studios is almost a co-host now. They've been on the show like 3 times since I've come back, but you know, so it's just you know, a lot of times like I have too many people reaching out. I wish I could get everybody on, you know, so I kind of understand that. But yeah, it's crazy when reaching out, he's like, hey, what are you doing in September? Oh, we're already booked out. What the fuck? How? Like, how do you know all these people? Who's reaching out to you? Like, who gives you that much advance? I don't ever get you both. I reached out to Eric as soon as I heard he was coming back. I was like, he posted about it, and I was like, you got to come on. But I mean, Leslie and AJ were extremely kind, tons of notice, reached out really early. Was very impressed by that, by the way. No, like, which I guess you guys are probably running into the same thing I'm talking about, right? Mm-hmm. Like shit, we gotta plan the circuit, we gotta plan the press circuit.
Yeah.
What about how early do you think of like reaching out to podcasters? Like, because Eric, you're doing the same thing, right? You're all hyping right now. So what your campaign, like you month of pre-launch, typically month typically of actual campaigns. You get 2 months there. Do you like the 3 month, like the pre-month? Do you how early do you start reaching out to weirdos like me?
It for me it depends. Like, I don't know if these guys have different plans. I was pretty confident because this was a successful book that I was going to do okay with the Kickstarter without having a lot of this kind of press. You know, I've recently, you know, become, you know, buddies with the sort of like the circle around, you know, Travis Gibb and the Orange Cone folks. So like, I knew that they were going to be able to help give me a little bit of a bump by, you know, we're able to cross promote
Nice.
with our campaigns and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, I didn't need to do as much of this kind of thing. I'll do whatever Blake wants, whenever Blake wants. It's always a great hang on top of everything else.
I think it was the last time you were on. Well, no, 2 times ago. You've been on the show a lot now. But so Eric, just real quick, was when I first bought the nice microphone, when I bought the SM7B, right? My first show, Eric comes on, right? And I'm like, you know, invested. Bought it with my tax return, you know, super nervous. This is fucking $400 something bucks, right? Like, so like I buy this thing, and then Eric leaves. And I'm about to edit this fucking thing, and I'm playing it back, and it sounds like I'm in a public bathroom. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? And StreamYard, I might have been on Zoom. I was on Zoom, I think, back then. It was just doing regular Zoom recordings, but it had my laptop shitty work laptop mic recording and not my awesome microphone.
Oh.
And so like, and I think there's even a part where I'm like, how do I sound? And I was like, we're cutting that out. But yeah, I was so embarrassed. But yeah, he was literally like the first show, my brand new shiny mic, and I didn't fucking have the right input. The things we learned. But yeah, Eric's been around the buzz for a while.
Yeah.
Sporting my shirts at cons and shit. Like
I am. I need to. Do you still? Is there still a threadless store or something up where I can buy one?
I don't
mine
know.
has gone through the wash too many times. I need to replace it.
I need to make a new one probably.
Yeah,
I need to update it and do the love more, hate less, read books, because I love comics. The idea behind that was to start trying to work with libraries and stuff when they started banning books and shit, you know. And it was just like I still want people to read comics, but I also want people to read books and not ban them. So anyway, I need to make new shirts. And then I know there's a bunch of bootleg shirts still on some of those. There was that one website selling fake shirts for
like Redbubble or something. Like
yeah, something weird like that. I was I was like, whatever. I hope someone bought them. I'm still crazy. I think I sold like 150 t-shirts through that.
Nice,
through
man.
that. I mean, it's over like a year and a half or so. Like it wasn't like overnight, but yeah.
150.
But it totally went from like my family buying them to like I remember buying like an omnibus with t-shirt money, and I was like, oh, like
Yeah.
living the dream.
Kidding me?
So yeah, that was. But then you don't think. You're not like initially. I wasn't like, oh, I'll sell a whole bunch of these, dude. Because that whatever I can't T-Public or whatever it's called. Like, you only get 11% of the product. Like and I mean, you don't have to fuck with anything. You know, you're not shipping nothing. They handle everything. The other thing I don't like is they don't give you a discount. Like if I buy a shirt on there and I made it, I should at least get like a cut or not like a little break. But anyway,
you get 11% discount because you get that money back.
Yeah, it comes back.
10% discount. Yep.
Nice. But yeah, it's I sold a lot of and I mean I bought a couple for like I have a red and yellow hoodie, and like I said, like all my family bought hoodies, which was dope because those were like $40. It was like ching, ching, ching. I was like, I got like $4 for each one or whatever. I was like, I'm getting rich.
On the bus
Anyway.
money.
But yeah, looking back, I was like, and of course, like looking back, well, I could have just bought a screen press and learned to go, yeah, okay. Like, but also that mentality is another thing that got me jobs in this industry. Like it was shout out to Lori at Laguna. Cause like she asked me, she was like, hey, will you like make the Kickstarter campaign and like make all the graphics and do all this for Giant Girl? And I was like, no. I was like, what? I've never done that. I make like little social media stuff, like, click me, like I don't make like, anyway. But I pitched a template and they all liked it. And I ended up doing that. And, yeah, now I'm a graphic designer. And it's like, it's nuts, guys. 'Cause stuff keeps happening and people are like, and now that some of the people know, like I can hang me on the refrigerator graphics now. Like, it's just like, oh, Blake, make this and this and this and this. And it's like, oh, fuck. Okay. And it's, and anyway, I'm getting better and faster, but I just didn't know this was happening. Right. Like we said, we didn't know we'd be crowdfunding campaigns. Yeah. Didn't know we'd be, thought I'd be editing comics. I was digging that, like managing art teams and editing. I was digging that, but yeah, I didn't think I'd be making, like sitting at the computer, like making graphics all day, like a job, like a for real, like, and then I know, man, I know like there's some 9-year-old out there who uses like AI that could probably blow me away with anything I do. It's just like, but I don't use AI. I don't know if any of you have ever, like, it's just, if you ever ask AI to make graphics for you, it's hilarious. The only thing it can do is make lizard people memes, but you can't post lizard people AI memes because people get mad at you if you post AI anything, which makes sense. So you can't even make lizard people memes. The only good thing about AI was the lizard people memes, because you could be like, I need two lizards in like cowboy hats, like on the range. It'll put that out great, and it looks like two like bearded dragons and real cowboy, and it's like and then you put little word bubbles on them, make them say funny shit. Can't do that anymore. Say I ruined it for everybody. Anyway, don't use AI. Keep reading and supporting Kickstarters. I talk too much, guys. I'm sorry.
All right.
I've noticed when I edit the Comic Industry Insiders interviews, I'm like, man, my boss talks a lot less. Anyway, what else is going on? Eric, I know you have something going on. You are part of a big giant indie project that everybody's talking about. I know you're can't say a lot, but you can sure. I know there's social media handles and stuff. If you want to talk about that.
So I was very excited to be included as part of the new Summit Comics initiative, which was started by Adam Barnhart and Travis Gibb and a handful of other great crowdfunding veterans in the comics industry. It's a pretty exciting opportunity. Basically, we'll be doing superhero stories under the Summit Comics banner. We're each allowed to do, we're each going to, own our own creations, but they're going to interact in a shared universe. Nice. So, there's a lot of people who really want to tell superhero stories. And I think this really kind of helps us to sort of build a broader continuity, a broader mythology surrounding these heroes than you get if you are stuck doing it all on your own in a vacuum. There's more to come. There's going to be a couple of cool initiatives. The first project is going to be an anthology where we're all just introducing our characters in 6-page stories. And then there's going to be, like a Shonen Jump style bi-monthly concern, as well as those of us who want to can spin off our characters into individual miniseries, but they'll all be run under the Summit Comics banner and on Kickstarter under the Summit Comics account.
Cool. Is it going to be competitive like you're doing like Shonen Jump? So are you all going to be like fighting for your jobs like the mangaka? If we miss a deadline or fail, they will get rid of us instantaneously. I've heard that's how it is. I'm just a joke. They obviously won't do that. They're great people. If you've seen, I think everybody's seen the graphics. It's a huge list of people who've been on Kickstarter, in and out of direct market and crowdfunding. So a great mix of indie creators, but yeah, I've always heard that about manga, and especially when they do those serialized magazines, everybody's fighting for spots, and if you fall behind and you can't keep your bi-monthly or monthly deal, they'll put you into like another publication, which is like death. It's like when like the hockey teams get put into like the lower leagues or whatever, right? Like and I'm probably have no idea how that really works, but that's what I've heard. But I've just heard it's very, 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 very competitive, and regardless, like, even because the deadlines are super intense, but also like the sales, like you have to keep a certain amount of like sales and designated readers and shit. I don't know, it's crazy. So yeah, it's not going to be like that, obviously.
I'm very excited. I've already.
Did you get approached like in the dark? Did you get a letter? Like how did they like? What did? Because that's a big group of people to organize and get on board and do paperwork or whatever else you got to do. Like
it was not. It was a community. It was people started putting feelers out to other people in the community, and someone approached me and I said, yeah, I think I have something for this, and I wrote a story. What I really want to do, and what I really hope that we can set ourselves apart by doing, is a lot of people, when they say they want to write superheroes, it means I want to write Spider-Man, I want to write Superman, I want to write Batman. So what you end up with is, your analog guy who's a speedster, but he's not the Flash, right? But he is the Flash. We just filed the serial numbers off.
Yeah.
So what I'm really hoping that, and what will really make this successful, is that if people are bringing some originality, and they're not just telling their Superman stories with an analog. They're telling their Superman story, or they're telling their superhero stories with something that's completely original. And that's what I'm endeavoring to do with, you know, the stuff that I will be providing to Summit, and really looking forward to that. But no, there was no like Harry Potter, like owl delivering me a letter.
That'd be
saying
pretty
that
cool.
Hagrid showing up at my doorstep. So
I'd be, or like a drone, like a drone like flies in. That's what we don't have magical owls, unfortunately, and
that'd be pretty cool.
I can't even train my dog to like. Bruce has a mind of his own, man.
You don't have magical owls, but
oh yeah, right. Not yet.
For Eric.
Yeah, right. I gotta get that Kickstarter money. But no, as I mentioned early in the show, at the right time this time, both these campaigns we've talked about, Headcases issues 1 through 3, and the new compact edition of Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists, both on Kickstarter right now. Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists is funded, so it, like Eric said, it has become a pre-order page. Headcases still has a bit to go, and I don't know. Like I showed you the art, and I'm telling you, it's so good. Like you gotta get this thing. You gotta get this thing funded. You gotta hop on over and get both. You gotta get both. Get issues 1, or get issues 3, 1, 2, and 3.
I just want to say, like, I feel bad because I missed Headcases 1 and 2, but Blake was showing the pages, and if you were watching the YouTube video of this and you saw me look down like this, it's because I just pledged to the Kickstarter.
Nice.
That
Thanks, Eric.
looks like a fantastic. Like the art is just like A+ professional quality. That is the kind of art I would expect to see on the shelf at my LCS. Like that.
Yeah,
that looks
legit.
fantastic. I'm stoked to read those issues. And you know, if you wanted to, you know, hook a guy up and send PDFs of issues 1 and 2, I wouldn't turn it down. But
heck yeah. And I will say number 3 I'm even more excited about. I just think that there's some really fun visuals that Paolo put off that are really exciting. We unfortunately didn't get a chance to tease them in the campaign, but yeah, there's some really cool stuff that's happening in number 3 that people definitely gonna want to see.
Cool.
Oh yeah,
and we'll hook you up. Don't worry, Eric.
There you go.
We'll hook
Nice.
you up.
Appreciate
Nice. Making friends on Blake's Buzz. That's cool. That's awesome. And it's for both these books are so great. Very different books, but yeah, like well, I think there's severed heads in both actually. So I guess you can always
connective tissue there.
You can always connect by disconnect between the heads. But yeah, no, all of you are doing great work, and I'm happy. Always happy to see you guys pop up. You know, when I see your names pop up, if it's in a press release or a new release or something. Because yeah, I feel like it's weird. This is going to sound weird, okay? But I feel like we grew up together, kind of, because it was like back in the day, Twitter was different and it was fun and free. And like, you know, and we was just like, it was COVID happened, but like we found all these like nerd connections and friendships, and everybody started podcasting and doing shows like this. And so yeah, it's just, you know I don't talk to you guys a lot, but I always appreciate, like, I'm glad to see like y'all still doing good things and good things happening, telling good stories. So
yeah, I feel the same way, Blake. I mean, it's cool to again see Eric doing the same stuff, and I had actually the first issue of Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists, and it's just reminded me, hey, I need to get caught up. So I also got, if you saw me scrolling away, is also me getting
nice
back in your book. But yeah, it's just awesome. Like you said, just like that. There's a certain energy from that, like the pre-COVID group of creators, and I still follow a lot of same people, and just so happy to see so many people's success, and happy to see Eric continue to do stuff. And same for you, Blake.
Appreciate you.
Likewise.
AJ.
Likewise.
I don't know about you though, dude. No, I'm just kidding.
But I will say, I'm sorry, but I'm saying this, but you said this is my first time. That's not my first time on your show. Man. It was 4 years ago.
Oh,
4 years ago, I was on your show. So I grew up together with you as well.
God damn it. I finally did it. You know what? Fucking who was it? Fucking Chad Perkins. What was it, a few weeks ago? Chad was like, he's like, I've been on your show. I can't believe you forgot me. And then he was wrong. We went, and now I am. I'm the asshole. It finally happened again. Fuck, dude. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh, fine. I mean,
it was a long time ago. I mean, 4 years.
Well, yeah, I was drinking then too. I was drinking a lot. My live streams were a little weirder. Well, no, still weird, but I just
different weird.
I've went back and like, because I never did it like at the time, like when I knew like, oh, I was fucked up last night, or like there were times where I didn't remember like ending the stream and going to bed. Right. So like I literally am blacked out live talking about comics, probably not comics, talking about something. There's a lot of weird streams, but yeah, like this is a little embarrassing. I was like, I've looked at, I was like, we don't need to look at that ever again. You know, like I was like, oh my God. So yeah. Sorry, dude.
All good. I mean, it's you, yeah.
Well, no, I thank you. But before, as I mentioned earlier, I always try. The goal is to keep these things for like an hour, right? And it never happens. But it is getting late, and I do appreciate all of you. And I know we've talked about a whole lot. But is there anything else any of y'all would want to shout out? If you got any other projects going, or anything else? Mailing lists, web stores, anything like that. AJ, start with you, bud.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram or Bluesky. And I'm doing a little bit on X or still. And in terms of other projects, I actually have a graphic novel coming out with this Chinese fashion company called Team Wang Design. Who got founded by this rapper called Jackson Wang, for anyone who knows the name. So we're actually I wrote a graphic novel for them that they're actually taking to Thailand, and they're gonna do a huge event there, and they're gonna give away and also sell comics, sell the copies of that graphic novel, and it's potentially could be like turn into like a graphic novel series that I'm gonna be writing for. So I'm very, very excited about that. And then also, yeah, thank you. And then I have this very, very cool, I'm super proud of it. It's a queer space opera. It's a graphic novel trilogy, and it's coming out with Top Shelf. And it's coming out next year in July. And I'm really excited about it. I think I saw Dominic Bustamante there. It's like he's my co-creator and the artist on that trilogy. So we're really excited to get it out to people. We've been working on it for like 5-6 years.
Whoa.
So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that.
Sweet. I'm so glad you're about to get famous when I forgot you're on my show.
All good. I'll keep reminding you every time. You know? No, but
please,
and then
please
obviously
come back and talk about your image book. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And then obviously, like once Headcases hopefully gets funded, the third issue, then you can look out for the fourth and the final one.
Hell yeah, dude! Hell yeah, dude! Keep hustling. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, shit. Sorry, Leslie. You follow that up, bud?
Nope. I'm the comics turtle. I don't have too much going on, but you can follow me on social media.
Did you say you're the comics turtle?
Comics turtle. It's slowest.
Nice.
Slowest guy in comics. It's all
Love
good.
Stuff's
coming out eventually.
It's slow for everybody, bud.
Yeah. So yeah, you can follow me on social media. I've got a graphic novel I hope to put out next year on Kickstarter. It's gonna be a good time. It's about a kid fresh out of college who starts working for an evil marketing company. It's called Rogue Marketing. So yeah, probably gonna split in two just to make it more affordable. Yeah, but check that out. Like I said, follow me on social media. Let's Write pretty much everywhere. So yeah, give me a look. And I've got Headcases going. Hopefully, Savage Wizard coming either early next year or late next year.
Awesome. Yeah, Savage Wizard that book's crazy. That's such a crazy book.
Yeah.
That's all. Hell yeah. Like everybody's got graphic novels coming out. Hot damn. Eric, what about well, I know we talked follow you web. Okay, let's try this again. Hey Eric, where do we find you at on social media? Or do you have mailing thingy, a list?
I'm on Instagram and Bluesky at Eric Palicki. I do not have a proper newsletter. I keep threatening, but I don't have one yet. In terms of projects, there's nothing that I can officially talk about, even though I sort of spilled the beans about something at the top of the show.
Yeah.
But there are actually 2 things that will be announced at or around New York Comic Con.
Oh yeah.
Plus, Atlantis wasn't built for tourists, right? We got, I just handed Wendell the first script for our first one shot, which will crowdfund after the first of the year.
That's so exciting. I love how you said too, when you like were reaching out about doing the compact edition, he was like, okay, yeah, but what about new stuff? Yeah, like that's really cool. I'm really excited to see it. I'm excited to see, I feel like this is going to be a new trend, and I'm not mad at it, at re-released compact size trade paperbacks in the Kickstarter community. I've already heard a couple people talking about it, and they're talking about, some people are talking about like doing like manga inspired like variants, right? That look, you're not going to read them backwards, but they're, kind of look like that aesthetic, which sounded kind of exciting. So people are talking about this. I think it's going to be a new thing. Always exciting when something new and popular, I'm tired of metal covers. I can't afford them. Who gives
I mean, so my research was that like the compact edition is going to be about a 20% savings on the printing.
Oh wow.
So
maybe
it's maybe it's the future for now.
Maybe, yeah. Because I mean, they just keep raising mailing prices. It's getting silly. All right. Follow all these people because you need to keep track of them because they got some cool stuff coming, and they got some cool stuff out right now. Check those links in the description. You got to back these campaigns. Check them out. Supporting indie comics is a cool thing to do. Okay. Do some drugs and support indie comics, or do no drugs and still support indie comics. Do what makes you happy by supporting indie comics.
Damn straight.
You got out of it good.
Whatever you got to do to get to get these things funded. We got to keep these talented people telling great stories. Everybody who's in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out. I love you. I appreciate you. For all my guests, I apologize for the last minute links and stuff sent today. Thanks for dealing with me and putting up with me for an hour and a half and sending me free books to read. Appreciate you all. And I got one more chance. Anybody want to say anything else, or I'm gonna set you free?
Nothing else. Thank you so much.
Or any comics. Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Blake.
Into comics.
You are all welcome. Welcome back anytime. And sounds like hopefully back next year with more exciting stuff to tell me about. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of the night. Wake up tomorrow. Hug your people you love, and pet your dogs and cats and kiss. Just make sure the people that you love know that you love them tomorrow. First thing when you wake up. And let's try and do better as like a people. All right. I love everybody. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next week. Bye.